Hiya. I haven't made a video for a long time, and I thought that I would make this video to talk about my experience of moving from a moving magnet cartridge, specifically a Rega Exact, moving towards a moving coil, the Ania Pro. There's a few people that I said that I would probably do a very short review of my thought process between the two cartridges and how I've moved to one to the other. And I think I wanted to share my experience because I think there are quite a few people that would be thinking about moving from one system to the next, making that upgrade. I have to say it's outstanding. Just to sort of recap, I've been using a Rega Planar 6 for about a year, just over a year, and I fitted my Rega Exact bias 2 that I had from my Planar 2 over to the P6, and I have to say I've been really enjoying it. Really warm, really easygoing kind of a cartridge to use. I don't like the look of it. I don't like the yellow. I think I've always hated the yellow, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to change. But it's bang on buck, brilliant. It's the deep bass, the precision and timing on the Exact is fantastic. But I've always felt that that the bass is a bit muddy. I've always kind of thought there's more to come out of those records, those audiophile standard records, which I have a few now, and I thought it was time to move to the moving coil cartridge. So I booked my first listening demo session with my hi-fi store up in Yeovil. The guys from Sevenoaks, really great guys, and I actually compared the Exact to the Ania Pro, and I thought I would just share what I did to prepare for that demonstration, and specifically try and talk you through the things that I found personally that led me to move towards a moving coil cartridge. So I wanted a mix of records, and I have to say a shout out to Michael in Dusseldorf, or 45 RPM, who has been exceptional. He's been brilliant in introducing me to some excellent, fantastic titles. He's done the vinyl community a great service, I think, over the past 18 months, certainly over the last year since COVID hit. So big shout out to Michael. But what I started off with was listening to the Ania Pro first on a brand new P6, and bearing in mind the hi-fi place. It was a brand new P6, so not running or anything, and I decided to start off with this title. So McCoy Tyner, Tender Moments, and what immediately sprung out to me was a reduction in the bass, and not a reduction, but it wasn't muddy. It was tight, contained, and I wasn't used to hearing the bass so tight, and that kind of thought, oh, I'm not sure about this. Where's the warmth? Where's the wrap around? The coziness of the Exact. This was exceptional in terms of the Ania pulling out the instrumentation and making the soundstage come to life, but I was missing the warmth. So I thought, okay, I'll move from this onto something that will really really test the bass and low frequencies. So I decided to put this on. Blow Up by the Suzuki Aseo Trio Quartet. I probably pronounced that wrong. For those of you who've known this title, at 45 RPM, the bass at the beginning of side A, Aquamarine, is just really rich, and it just punches straight away. I mean, it's just incredible, beautiful album. Lovely bass in that first. And when that cut in, there was the biggest thing that I noticed. There's kind of some sparkly, jingly jangly type accompaniments behind the bass, and they just rung out. I've not heard that before to such depth and definition, and that was down to the Ania Pro. Just fantastic. We swapped to the Exact, listening to Aquamarine, the first track on side A, and it was the warmth came back. It was rich but muddy, and I thought, okay, I can see what's happening here. This is producing the definition, the texture, the detail, but it's not allowing the deep frequencies to muddy the performance. And the other thing I really noticed as well was that the Ania Pro seems to do very, very well in negotiating high frequencies and low frequencies at the same time. Very, very, very well. The shape of the stylus, there's something to do with it, I guess, but it's just so much, it's leagues ahead of the Exact. So I was blown away by Blown Up on that. Now the next, so I was unsure at this time. I think I'd been there for an hour and a half, 2 hours of listening, and not entirely sure what I was going to do. So I decided I was going to put on some vocals. I wanted some female vocals to give the music I'd heard previously some context, and so I decided to put this on, which is absolutely gorgeous if you've ever heard it. Melody Gardot, Sunset in the Blue. Now I compared this with on the Ania Pro and the Exact, and it was spellbounding, really. I just sat there, and her vocals on this leapt out. It was like she was in the room. It was like a face mask had been taken off her in comparison to the Exact. Just rich. And the other thing is the decay in the music, the instrumentation, each note, the frequencies decayed with so much fuller, richer texture than I'd ever listened to before on the Exact. And that was really interesting. And I wasn't missing the muddiness after I heard this. I just wasn't missing that fluffy warmth that the Exact throws out on most of the music. The Ania Pro just seems to pull out the detail and work the bass and the treble, the high frequencies, low frequencies really, really well. And I asked myself two questions really. What am I looking for in the sound? Is it the warmth, the cozy, punchy bass, which the Exact gives 10 times over in many respects, or am I after definition? Am I after detail? And that's definitely, I'm after the latter on that. This blew me away. This was the clincher, really, for me to move across to the Ania Pro. And then I finished off the demo with a bit of classical. I do love a little bit of classical, and and actually more recently I'm into a little bit more electronica, not so much the avant-garde, but again I think Michael's got something to do with that, responsible for that. But anyway, so I decided to listen to this Bolero, and the timing, I just found the timing with the Ania Pro it leapt out. As I say, the instrumentation, more detail, more punch, and the build-up to, if you know Bolero, it's the track that Torval and Dean ice skated to. Yeah, it was fantastic. I wanted, and I sat and listened to the whole thing, and said to the sales guy David, who was fantastic, look, I'm going to finish this. I'm just going to go through all of this, and that was it. I think it was coming home with me, the Ania Pro, and when I got it home, it just seemed to fit very, very well. I was playing a variety of stuff, mostly jazz, but also electronic, as well as vocal, and it really does seem to work very, very well, and it looks 100 times better, I think, than the Rega Exact cartridge. So those are my initial thoughts. I'm sorry this isn't a polished video. I'm not a YouTuber, obviously, but any comments, I would appreciate that. And until next time, thank you.